Hey, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to our special Sabbath edition of My Take with Rosh Ya'acob. I hope all of y'all had a good day today as we prepare for the Shabbat. And I hope you're ready to dig into some scriptures for a minute. And I hope this is going to edify you and get you excited about the Torah, because that's what we want to do tonight on this episode of My Take. We want to get you excited about the Torah. That's all Friday is about. We're not doing no advertisement, not doing no promotions. The only thing we're promoting is the Shabbat. That's it. So with that being said and done, just want to welcome you all. For those of y'all who don't know me by now, first, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. My name is Rosh Ya'acob ben Abraham. I am the Rabbi at Gethsemane Spiritual Temple Congregation. And on this show on Fridays, we focus on the Torah. We dig into the Torah text. We look at stuff that the sages say. We try to bring out some stuff that you might don't know that's right within the text, right? So we're going to get into this. I'm not going to keep you long tonight. Only going to be on there for about an hour, and then we want to get started. So just want to thank you guys again for being here and being here on the line with me. I really, really appreciate you all. This has been an eventful week. We had a lot of hot shows this week. I will implore you to go back and look over them, especially the one dealing with about the violence, about our young sister who lost her life. Please watch that one. Said a lot of good things in there about us as a community, how we need to build up as a community. Really got deep that one. This whole week been an emotional roller coaster with the episodes, but I'm glad that you guys have been on it with me, and we've been knocking this thing out together, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So again, if this is your first time, please subscribe to the channel. If it's not your first time and you like what we're doing, like the video and share it. If you don't like what we're doing and you upset about it, share the video and complain about it so other people can look and say, I don't know what that dude talking about. That joint is on point. Whatever the case, we appreciate you. I appreciate you. All right, so with that being said and done, we're going to get right into the message for the day. The message is featuring none other than myself. I was like, wow. I actually did the message for this Torah Portion last year. So it's right back on me. I'm like, okay, I'm back in the saddle again, you know. I'm right there. You know, my favorite tools that I like to use, which is Sephora. So I'm going to let y'all see it on a studio monitor. So you know me, I like to use Sephora. And we're going to be coming today from Exodus chapter 30. So Exodus chapter 30, and start at verse 11. And we're going to go from there. So let me open up this. This is Sephora. So we're going to jump right into this. And it's called Tisa. Oyedeber Yahweh El Moshe Lamor Tisa. Tisa et Rosh B'nai Yisrael. When you lift the head of the children of Yisrael. When you lift the head of the children of Yisrael. So, within this portion, there's a lot of things within this portion. We're going to start off dealing with this one thing, because I believe this is something that y'all don't know, or some of you might know it, but we're going to look into it. If you go to our actual the video, because I got the video that I'm be using is going to be in a link. if you go to the video, I actually start off with this, where it's dealing with this idea of taking a census. Because right here it says, you see, it literally says, Ki Tisa et Rosh B'nai Yisrael. But look how they got it translated. When you take a census of the Israelite men. See how they got it translated? That's not what it says in the Hebrew. The Hebrew says, when you lift Ki Tisa et Rosh, the head of B'nai Yisrael. When you lift the head of the Israelites. But Dad said, no, this means take a census. And it is talking about take a census. And let's read what it says about the census. So when you take a census of Israelite men according to their armies of their army enrollment, each man shall pay Yahweh a ransom for himself on being enrolled, that no plague may come upon them through being enrolled or being counted, right? So that's how it says it right there. So we're going to look at it from Bible Hub and see what it says in Bible Hub. So we'll go to Exodus or Shemot. We'll go to chapter 30. And we'll see what it says right there. If it still says it in that manner. So let's check it out. Look at what it says. Verse 30 says, and you shall anoint. Oh, what in the world? This is verse 30. Hold on. Something is wrong. Oh, I went down too far. My bad. I'm about to say, what's going on here? Did y'all see something I don't see? Look at it. Look at what it says. It started at verse 11. That's why I should have started at verse 11. Then Yahweh spoke to Moshe saying, when you take a census of the children, notice it don't say the men of Yisrael, because B'nai Yisrael means the children of Yisrael, right? So that's what B'nai Yisrael means. B'nai Yisrael means the children of Yisrael. So it says, when you take a census of the children of Yisrael, right? This is what you're taking a census of. Look at what it says you ought to do when you take the census of the children of Yisrael. It says, when you take a census of the children of Israel for their number, so you're counting them, right? Then every man shall give a ransom for himself to Yahweh when you number them. Now it said enrolled. It used that nice term, enrolled. No, this is talking about numbering. And it still ain't saying about the army. It's just talking about numbering them, right? So the other plague taking all kind of liberties to add stuff that it don't say. But right here we see from the New King James what it says, right? It says, when you take a census of an Israel for their number, then every man shall give a ransom for himself to Yahweh when you number them, that there may be no plague among them when you number them. So we can't just take the census the regular way that the United States want us to take the census. That's not how we ought to be counted. If we ought to be counted, we have to be counted by the giving of the shekel. And it's not us that are being counted, but the shekel itself. Now, watch this. Watch what the sages say. We're going to go back and see what the sages had to say about this. Hold on, let me see. Let me see the Halacha. Let's look at the Halacha about this, right? The source which suggests itself most readily is Exodus 30:12. Moshe is commanded to count the children of Israel by collecting a half shekel from each person in order that there be no plague among them when you number them. Indeed, the Gemara, Barakot 62b, depicts Elohim as telling the weed, behold, I will make you stumble over a matter which even school children know, namely, that which is written, when you take the sum of the children of Israel according to their number, then you shall give every man a ransom for his soul unto Yahweh, that there be no plague among them. Here the Gemara declares that even school children are aware of the prohibition expressed in 30:12. So look how they said, oh man, I was blocking their way all that time. I know I was in your way all the time. All right, so I'm going to move so y'all can read it while I talk about it. So look at what it's saying. It's saying even the school children know this. Even the school children know this. This is not nothing new, right? It's new to us here because especially for people that don't dig into the Torah, if you Brit Kadashah only, if you renewed covenant only, you definitely don't know nothing about this. But it is a law that say you will bring a plague upon yourself if you let yourself be numbered. I think that's why it's almost seemed like to our people that we ducked those numbers. We didn't even know why, but we ducked. We ducked though. They knocking on the door. Hey, census. They be like, nah, census not here. We don't know what you talking about. We peeping out the window, peeping out the side. We not letting them know we in there. It's like the ancestors were speaking to us saying, look, don't let them number you. Don't you let them people number you. You better keep that up. Don't you let them people number you. So I just wanted to make sure I got this out to everybody so you will know that you ought to be numbered in this way. If there's any way you ought to be numbered by the shekels. That's how you ought to be numbered. Because what happens is, this is how, and I believe the adversary know this, our enemies know this. So he purposely count us in this way so that the plague do come upon us, right? But we duck them out. I remember growing up ducking census people out. And they be like, it's a shame. Y'all ducking the census people out. Y'all need them to know. And that's going to say how much money they going to give to this community and that community based off who living there, right? And I'm like, I hear you. But it was just something about it. And so when I read this scripture, I said, wow, this is what it is. This is what it is. And look at what the sages say. Even school children know this. Even school children know you're not supposed to do this. So I just wanted to lay this out before we get into the crux of the message, to the meat of the message that we about to delve into. I wanted to first express this and explain this so we'll know. Don't let them people count you. Don't let them people count you and bring a plague upon you. We got to know the things that we supposed to do and not supposed to do so that we will protect ourselves, because we got, things is going on. There's brothers out here clean shaven. You ain't supposed to be clean shaven, but that's for another time. But you're not supposed to be clean shaven. You out here clean shaven, this, that, other. You break your Torah. You destroying your beard. You're not supposed to do that. So there's a lot in the text that we read, gloss right over, don't pay no attention to, and it's a law right there. Right there, it's a precept that we just overlook and don't think nothing about. But don't worry, on this show, I'm going to point out different things to you guys. Hopefully this taught you, if that taught you something, you felt like you want to share the video just so they can get that part right there, please share the video. All right, now we're going to get into the part where you play some of the message. Still got like 40-something minutes left. Now we're going to get into the part where the message is played and we hear this perspective. So now we're going to get to that part right there. All right. So I appreciate y'all. So let's go to the message getting played. Hold on. All right. So where are we going today, though? I want you to turn with me to the 32nd chapter of Shemot or Exodus. We can go to 32, and we want to start right at verse 1. Now, this hit me like, and what I'm going to explain to you, it might hit y'all too like a ton of bricks, right? Those of us who've been in the faith that really believes, right? It's because we had an encounter with the Almighty. We had some kind of encounter where something happened and he revealed some of his Shekinah to you, and it touched you. Yes, it did.
But unfortunately, our children have not done that, or some of them, right? And you might want them, and you might plead with them, and you might try to show them all kind of stuff, but they just don't get it. It's not clicking. Something is just not happening. And it can be very, very disheartening. When you're sitting there, you're trying to explain something biblical, and they're hitting you with their understanding of reality. Right? That can really, really affect you. Well, here we see a whole situation right here in this week's portion. It says, the people saw that Moshe had delayed in descending from the mountain. Now we got to remember, this is continuing right from chapter 20. Remember in chapter 20? All of the children of Yisrael said, you know, after they heard the thunder and seen the lightning and seen the voices, and they said, what is going on here? And they said, if the Almighty keeps speaking to us, we're going to die.
Yeah.
You go talk to him, Moses.
Exactly, that's what he said.
Moshe, you go up on that mountain and talk to him, and whatever he say to do, we going to do it. Just come back and tell us whatever he's saying to do. Moshe went up to relay the message, and thus we have all the other chapters that we just read, is where he's receiving all this information that he was to bring back to them. And it says as soon as it finished and he received the tablets, he was on his way down. But meanwhile, you know how you saw it on a movie, you show you one thing that says meanwhile, and then it flashed to something else. Well, meanwhile, as that's happening, the people, remember, they felt like they was going to die. So in their mind, Moshe probably dead.
Yeah.
We standing around this mountain waiting for him to come back. This man probably up there somewhere dead.
Yep.
So they all get together and band together. Now, if you listen to some accounts from some commentators, they will say it wasn't Israel that was doing it. It was that mixed multitude that came out with them. Try to drop the blame on somebody else, right?
Exactly.
But it doesn't say it was just the mixed multitude. But it was a mixed multitude, right? Nah, it don't really say that, right? But it says the people.
The people.
That gives you an idea that it was the majority of everybody.
Yes.
They saw that Moshe had delayed descending the mountain, and the people, still saying the people, Ha'am is the people in Hebrew, the people, right?
The people.
Gathered around Aharon and said to him, rise up and make for us Elohims, or deities, that will go before us. Think about this. You just had the height of this revelation. You just had all this stuff going on.
Yeah.
And now you saying, make us Elohim.
Crazy, right?
And then somebody would say, well, why did they say that? For this man Moshe, who brought us up out of Mitzrayim, we do not know what became of him. In other words, we don't know if he's still alive or not.
Yeah, well, no.
And we tired of sitting around this mountain. So it's time to go.
Time to go.
Now, to that degree, that's how our youth and the other young people in the community look at stuff. We tired of waiting. How long we gonna be waiting? We waiting for this. We waiting for that. How long
How long?
And is this really real? What's going on? So they start devising their own plan. Start trying to figure out what they're going to do. Not waiting to see what the Almighty going to tell them to do. We got time for that.
Not time for that. Ain't nobody got time for
What are we
that.
going to do? So they come up with this plan. Okay, we need Elohim. We need a visual deity, someone that visually that everybody can focus on as we embark to go to the land of Israel, to the land of Canaan. That's the promised land. We about to embark and go there. Okay, we not saying that we don't believe in Almighty. We just saying we need somebody to take the place of Moses. That's what some people argue. It wasn't that they was going against the art. They just wanted somebody to replace Moses.
Yeah, that's what they say. They just wanted somebody to replace Moses. That was it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, don't it?
Look at what Aharon says. Aharon said to them, remove the rings of gold that are in the ears of your wives, sons, and daughters, and bring them to me. So now, as we learned in Sabbath school, and as we went over, and as the sages will attest, this seems to be a stalling tactic. Okay, get the earrings. How long is that going to? This will take a minute. There's a whole bunch of people to get earrings and rings and all this stuff from. All right, that's going to waste some time. All right, got the rings. All right, we got the rings. Now what? All right, kindle this fire up. All right, kindle the fire now. All right, now I got to shape and fashion it. Right? Let's see what happens. He says, the entire people removed the gold rings that were in their ears and brought them to Aharon.
Now watch this.
He took it from their hands, bound it up in a cloth, and fashioned it into a molten calf.
Now I want us to check this out. I was trying to go to Bible Hub. I mean to Safaria, so we can check that out. So check out Safaria. Watch Safaria. All right, so watch this. I'll go to the chapter 31, and it's the JPS version. It says, when the people saw that Moshe delayed, understand as the Targum does, as an expression denotes lateness. Similarly, so they displaying the delayed, I mean it was lateness, right? Similarly, from Judges 5:28, are his chariots so long in coming? And they waited until it was late. Right? So they giving us the Hebrew equivalent. This is Bashash and this is Adbush. Right? For when Moshe ascended a mountain, he said to them, to the Israelites, at the end of the period of 40 days, in other words, the 40th day, I shall return during the first 6 hours of the day before noon. They thought that the day on which he ascended the mountain, the seventh day of Sivan, was to be included in his number. Thus, Sivan having 30 days, he was expected back before noon of the 16th day of Tammuz. In fact, however, he had said to them, after 40 days, meaning days 40, each day together with his night, that precedes it, as it is customary in Israelite reckoning from the evening to the morning, right? Wayehi Arev, Wayehi Boker, right? Now, as regards to the day of this ascent, its night was not part of it, that it be reckoned as a complete day, for he ascended on the 7th of Sivan early in the morning. It follows, therefore, that the 40th day really fell on the 17th day of Tammuz, and not as the people had believed on the 16th. On the 16th of Tammuz, Hasatan came and threw the world into confusion. Look at what it says. Hasatan came and threw the world into confusion. How did Hasatan do that? It says Hasatan came and threw the world into confusion. I'm going to skip over something. I'm sorry. Here you go. On the 16th of Tammuz, Hasatan came and threw the world into confusion, giving it the appearance of darkness, gloom, and disorder, that the people should say, surely Moshe is dead. And this is why confusion has come into the world. So that's giving us a thing about why confusion is coming to the world. I love how they do that. He said to him, yes, Moshe is dead, for 6 hours noon has already come. Bashesh, come in 6, right? Bashesh, come in 6. So that's where they get us to see the words where he actually said, because he didn't say that directly, but they want us to derive it from this word Bashesh right here, saying about the chariot being so long. So now they coming and they putting that word in fact down here, saying Bashesh, Bashesh equals Bashesh, and he has not returned, etc. So the term that's used is Bashesh. But they're taking a Bashesh to mean Ba-Shef, at 6. And he didn't return. Also related in the treatise, Shabbat 89a, one cannot, however, say that they erred only on account of it being a cloudy day. Their mistake consisted in not being able to distinguish between the forenoon and the afternoon, and that thus they were corrected in their supposition that he was to return on the 16th of Tammuz, for this assumes that he really returned on the day when they made the calf, but that they were under the impression that noon was past. For a matter of fact, Moshe did not come down until the 14th day, the day after they had made the calf. For it is said, and they rose up early in the morning and brought up burnt offerings. Only afterwards Yahweh said to Moshe, go down, for your people have corrupted themselves. All right, so we see that's one thing where they try to express. Let's see if Rambam has something to say about that. Make us a Elohim who shalichu shall go, in a plural, before us. They wish to have many deities. For this Moshe, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt and used to show us the way we were to go, we know not what has become of him. Now we need many deities which shall go before us. This is Rashi's language, right? but his language does not fit the verse since scripture indicates. And now we saying some discrepancy. We saying how the sages don't always agree with each other. He said, this is what Rashi said, and we just read it. That is the impression that Rashi gave. But now, look at how he's going to explain this. Rabban is going to explain this different. Watch what he says. He says, this is Rashi's language. But his language does not fit the verse, since the scripture indicates indicates only that they wanted a leader in place of Moshe, not deities. So now they arguing Rashi thinking they wanted deities. Y'all misunderstanding this. Because notice what they said. They said, we don't know what happened to Moshe, so we want something to lead us. We was following Moshe. Moshe was leading us. But now we want somebody else or something else to lead us, since we don't know what happened to Moshe. So how they clear they made that? We don't know what happened to Moshe. This Moshe, we don't know what happened to him. We need some deities to replace him. What happened to Moshe? I don't know. I don't know what happened to him. You know what happened to Moshe? I don't know what happened to Moshe. So look what they says. Says, rather this verse is the key to understand the incident of the golden calf and the thought of those who made it. Now, y'all might say, y'all making excuses. They not making excuses. It was wrong. But they try to bring some clarity because they said it wasn't just about replacing the Almighty, because they know they can't replace the Almighty. It was about having a substitute for Moshe. Look at what it says. Rather, this verse is the key to understand the incident of the golden calf and the thought of those who made it. For it is known that the Israelites did not think that Moshe was a deity. So we know they didn't think Moshe was no deity. They knew Moshe was just a man. And that he did for them the signs and wonders through his own power. Say, no, he didn't do none of that through his own powers, right? Look at what it says. For it is known that the Israelites did not think Moshe was a deity, and that he did for them the signs and wonders through his own power. So what sense is there saying since Moshe is gone from us? In other words, why say something about Moshe if the calves don't got nothing to do with Moshe? Because they understood that Moshe was not the Almighty. They knew that. So why say, we don't know what happened to this Moshe, make us some deities? Now, they did say make the deity, and they made the deity. And y'all know this deity. This deity is the cow deity or the calf deity within Egypt. These guys was in Egypt, as I'm going to say in a message. They was in Egypt. They was consumed by Egyptian knowledge and logic, and they went forth with it. But look at what happens. Watch this part. It says, so what is the sense? So what sense is there in saying, since Moshe is gone from us, we'll make ourselves deities? Moreover, they clearly said, make for us Elohim who shall go before us, and not a deity who shall give them life in this world or to the world to come. Instead, they wanted another Moshe. That's what they wanted. They wanted to try and place the temple. They wasn't at this time thinking about any of those type of things, right? They just wanted somebody to replace Moshe. And look what they said. Instead, they wanted another Moshe, saying, Moshe, the man who showed us the way from Egypt until now, being in charge of the journeyings at the commandment of the Eternal by the hand of Moshe. He is now lost to us. Let us make ourselves another Moshe. See what they said? Let us make ourselves another Moshe who will show us the way at the commandment of the Eternal by his hand. This is the reason for their mentioning Moshe, the man that brought us up, rather than saying the Elohim who brought them up. For they needed a man of Elohim. You can also understand this matter from Aharon's answer to Moshe, our teacher, because we're going to see what Aharon going to say to her. Look at what Aharon says. Aharon answered to Moshe, our teacher, when he asked him, "What did this people do unto you that you have brought such great sin upon them?" To which Aharon replied, "And they said unto me, Make us a deity, etc. And I said unto them, Whosoever has any gold, let him break it off. So they gave it to me, and I cast it into the fire." Now Aharon was apologizing to Moshe and saying to him, "Let not your anger, Adonai, wax hot." Look at what he says to Moshe. Let not your anger, Adonai. That's what my Lord means. My Lord in Hebrew is Adonai. Adonai is another name that we say for the Almighty. Look at what Aharon says. Now, as Aharon was apologizing to Moshe, saying to him, "Let not the anger of Adonai wax hot." And yet here he was speaking as if adding rebellion unto his sin, saying that they asked him of an idol, and he made it for them with his hands. So why should Moshe's anger not burn against him? What greater sin than this? What greater sin than this is there, right? What greater sin? But the matter is, as I've stated, that they did not want the calf to be for them in place of the Almighty, who killeth and maketh alive. That's not what they wanted. Whom they would take upon themselves to serve as a deity. No, instead they wanted someone in place of Moshe. That's what they wanted. It said they wanted someone in place of Moshe. Right? Check out what else they say. They wanted someone in place of Moshe to show them the way. In place of Moshe to show them the way. And this is why the apology of, was the apology of Aharon. He argued that they merely told me that I should make them Elohim who will go before them in your place. Adonai, because they did not know what happened to you and whether you would return or not. Therefore, they needed someone who would show them the way as long as you were not with them. And if perchance you would return, they would leave him and follow you as before. So indeed it happened. For as soon as the people saw Moshe, they immediately left the calf and rejected it. And they allowed him to burn it and scatter its powder upon the water. This is deep, right? Because what we're saying is this from a whole other angle. We always get it from the angle that they was worshiping this deity, they was doing this ever, but the sages that put this together just from the verses within the text that show you that this might not be exactly the way this might not be as cut and dry as you thought it was going to be. Because it say like they talking about Moshe being replaced, not the Almighty, but Moshe himself. All right, look at what else it says. I'm trying to close this out because I know that I'm going to touch on this. I'm going to gloss over this, But that's why I want to dig into this right now to make sure y'all get it before I gloss over it. Look at what it says. And no one quarreled with him at all. No one said, no, this is the deity. We ain't messing with you, Moshe. No, that was only a replacement for him. And as soon as he came, they abandoned it like they said they would. Similarly, you will note that he did not rebuke the people nor say anything to them. Yet when he came into the camp and he saw the calf and the dancing, it was so much dancing. They was partying. And he sees this spectacle, this calf, people dancing around the calf. And Moshe is looking like, are you really doing this right now? Is this really happening right now? And look what it says. They immediately fled from before him. When they seen him, they fled. They ran for them lives. And yet, when he came into the camp and he saw the calf and the dancing, they immediately fled from before him. And they took the calf and burnt it and scattered its powder upon the water and make them drink of it. I'm going to read that again. And yet when he came into the camp and he saw the calf and the dancing, they immediately fled from before him. He took the calf and burnt it, scattered its powder upon the water, and made them drink of it. And yet, they did not protest at all. But if the calf were to them in place, but if the calf were to them in place of a deity, it is surely not normal that a person should let his king and deity be burnt in the fire. So we're going to go ahead, because this is going to go on and on and on. Oh, yeah, we're going to come back. I'm gonna come back real quick. So we're going to get some more of this message in. And then I'm going to come back.
And it says, they said, who's they? There's some other people here now. That's what it says. See, it was the rabble. It was the mixed multitude.
Yep.
Whoever it was, they said, this is your Elohim, O Yisrael, which brought you up out of Mitzrayim, out of Egypt. This is your Elohim. This calf. Now, question for people that got wisdom of where they came from. They just came from Egypt, right? Do you know that in Egypt, it is a deity that's a calf? Did y'all know that? Yeah, I might say, why they got this cow? What's going on with this cow or this calf? What is going on here? It's a deity in Egypt that is represented with a calf. Yeah. And I believe her name is a her too. Oh, y'all like that? It's a her. Ah. I believe her name is Haftor, right? Crazy, crazy, crazy. So this gives you an idea that they still were holding on to things that they learned in bondage. So even with us, even with our youth, even with our family members that can't seem to see, a lot of them are still holding on to things that's in this bondage that we're in. Holding on to it, can't let it go. The different concepts that was taught that's been indoctrinized within your mind are still there.
Now, this is the deity that we was looking at, Haftor. And we notice he got the ankh in the hang. Notice the ankh look like a cross, got the staff. And it's supposed to be the cow horns with the sun disc resting within it. And there's different meanings to her. We got all these different things with it. So where we see it's more of original. And it says Hafthor, goddess of joy and motherhood near the owl. I'm trying to click on it. So yeah, that's it right there. Yeah, that's it right there. All right. Just wanted to show y'all that. So let's get back to it.
It is hard to let some of those things go. So that's the whole thing that we see in a nutshell that's happening in this situation. It's hard to let this stuff go. Think about many of you who came to the Torah, who let Sunday go, who let eating unclean foods go, who let dressing in ways that you shouldn't dress go. Whatever it is what you let go of, think about how hard it was. Now, some of y'all might say, oh, it was easy. I just boop, boop, did it, boop, boop. I'll tell you, some things are hard. You know, even though a lot of this knowledge came to me at a young age through my grandfather, my God.
Yeah, so now I'm gonna get some backdrop into some different things within the story. I wanted to show y'all something else within the text, because we about to close out in a few minutes. Yeah, we about to close out in a few minutes. So before we close out, I want to show y'all one more thing. So let me click back on here. And let me see. Show y'all one more thing. I'm gonna go back to Sephiria. Now I love Sephiria. Or should I do Bible? I'm gonna do Bible Hub. Now I'm gonna go back to Sephiria. I must admit, no, it's still the same size. I don't know why I don't want it so low. Alright, so check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Hey, check this out. Alright, let me see. That's crazy. So let's look at some more of what it says right here. I want to come out of that. You can look at all this on that. And all right, look at what this says. All right, this says, while you call and they assemble the people. The people assemble. Whenever the expression where your call appears, it is followed by the word all, it means against. In other words, it is the Torah's way of condemning such an assembly. On the other hand, if the word following where you call either in the singular on a plural mode is followed by the word al or el. This signifies a positive development. Now it says compare to Kings 1:8-2. It says whenever it says where the people assembled around King Shlomo to watch the ark being transported to the newly erected temple. So this is Wayomeru Alayo Kom Asalanu Elohim. They said to him, arise, make Yisrael king. Arise, make a visual image of Elohim. According to the plain meaning of the text, there is no question that Aharon had no intention to allow the people to revert to idolatry. So this is another thing that you will hear me get into the text that it was going to take a minute before I got there on the video. But when you watch the video, if y'all watch the video, log on. The clip is right there in the description. If y'all watch the video, y'all see. But look at what it says. It is clear. It's no question, right? That's what they said. There's no question that Aharon had no intention. Aharon didn't have any intention. This is what I want you to understand and see. Aharon had no intention of letting the people commit idolatry. But look at what Aharon wanted. It says Elohim forbid, right? Or somehow to replace Yahweh or his prophet. So now they said he didn't even want to replace Moshe. The people wanted him to replace Moshe. So that's what they said. The people wanted to replace Moshe. But even if you saying the people might want to replace the deity, that ain't even what was Aaron wasn't going to do any of that. That wasn't in his heart. In Aaron's heart, he was trying to delay them. That's why he said for all the men to take their jewelry off. The men and the women and the children, all take y'all gold jewelry off. They took it off. That take time for all of them to take this jewelry off and for him to melt all his jewelry together to be able to make this deity. That take time to do that. That's not something that's going to happen just like that. Then after the deity was made, he said, all right, we got to make an altar. Still going to take time. Then after the altar was made, he didn't say, okay, let's do it now. He said, no, we got to wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow, we going to do it, right? All of this is a delay tactic. And, you know, just for her to oh, man. Let me go to this. Watch this. Look at what it says. It was all a delay tactic. That's what it was all about. Just a delay tactic. Aharon never meant for this to go any further past just the land. He was trying to delay in order to give Moshe a chance to get there. Like a hostage situation. You ever see TV shows or hear about the hostage situation where they say, I want a car now, and this, that, and the other. And they know we can't just give them no car, let them escape. Okay, give us a couple of hours. We working on it. We working on it. They not working on it. But the person be so delusional thinking, look, give it to them and start killing bodies up in here. They really not rushing on now because you start killing people. They want to make sure you don't go nowhere. They don't want you to magically be able to make it somewhere. They like, no, we don't want you to go nowhere, buddy. You killing people? You crazy? So watch this, watch this. Aaron, if Aaron had intended to make an idol, Moshe would have had to execute him as a false prophet. You see that? If Aharon had intended to make an idol, if his intention was to truly make this idol, Moshe would have to execute him as a false prophet. Not only that, but how could the false prophet subsequently have been appointed as the foremost instrument of skirring Israel atonement? Moreover, how could he have become the first priest and all his male offspring become priests of the whole people? Not only that, we did not find that the Torah charged Aaron with any sin until the events at the water, when they had the water. So Meribah, the bitter waters, where Aharon did not stop Moshe from striking a rock to produce the water. There is not a single sage that ever suggested that Elohim would appoint as a prophet someone who would eventually revert to idolatry. There can therefore be no question that what the people demanded of Aharon was not a return to idolatry. The problem had been Moshe had announced the date. So this is where they go to the date again. So this is what we say. So hopefully this was enough knowledge for you to get you fired up about the Torah, to get you pumped and motivated for this Torah knowledge. Hopefully this was enough to get you excited. Pray that you enjoyed what we put forth tonight. Thank y'all for being here with me. It's been a long day, but even out the midst of the long day, I still want to make sure I get the Torah knowledge out to you guys. I really appreciate y'all for being here with me, and I'm trying to be as true as I can be so you can know that rain, sleet, or snow, right? Whatever the situation is, if the Almighty allows me to come before y'all to bring the Torah, I might be the most tiredest man in the world. But if the Almighty presents the door open for me to bring you guys Torah knowledge, that's what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all again for rocking with your boy on this Shabbat Eve as we bring in the Shabbat. I appreciate you. And what other way to end it out than with our very own sister, Queen Makedah, and her beautiful, beautiful song that's based off of Psalm 24, Clean Hands. Amen. Amen.
To his holy mountain, he who has clean hands and a pure heart. Neki kapayim uvar levav. Neki kapayim uvar levav. He who has clean hands and a pure heart. He who has clean hands and a pure heart. Hey, Lo Yahweh haaretz u'melo.
I thank y'all again for being here with me. If you rock with me thus far, please like, share, and subscribe. Pass it on to a friend. Help make Torah great again. You got all kind of slogans. Let's help make Torah great again. I need Yisrael in the building. I am Yisrael. I need Yisrael camp in the building. No, it's not a camp. I ain't going to say that. He's starting a camp. No, it ain't that. It's a movement. I need Yisrael movement in the building. All camps, whatever you are. If you coming back to the Torah and you know you Yisrael, let's join together. All right, and with that being said, Layla Tov to you and Shabbat Shalom.
Shema Yisrael